Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Halito, peace, love, harmony, and light. This is your brother Chief Kalanago with another video. My family, my lineage. Hope everybody is doing great, man. Hope you had your past 48 to 72 hours. It has been great. You know, it has been beautiful for you. And I know you're gonna have a great day today. Remember, your day is always what you make it. All right. So get your spirits up, get in a positive mood, get in a positive vibe, and literally affirm what your day is going to be like. All right. Now, with that being said, man, I had the past 48 hours. It's been beautiful, you know, and I just got to give thanks to the Most High. Got to give thanks to my ancestors. You know, the Great Spirit is working. Definitely working in our favor, you know. And on Saturday, I had to be in Jersey to do a lecture, and it was just so beautiful, man. And I am just so passionate about what I do. I cannot express it in words, you know. But I went to Jersey, and thanks to my brother for being such a great host. Every time, you know, I go to Jersey, you know, he makes me feel at home. His home is my home. And it was beautiful. But I did the lecture, and the turnout was great. You know, the people came, and the lecture literally was for over 4 or 5 hours. And everybody took notes, and everybody had questions. And even if the adults enjoyed it and they had questions, and, you know, they supported, just the turnout was beautiful. What really impressed me, you know, and brought me it's a feeling that I can't describe. It was the children, you know, and the children were no older. I don't think they were no older than 14. At least one of them might have been 14 or 15. But the rest of them, they were under the age of 10. And the children were there. They sat through a lecture for over 5 hours, and not once did they go to sleep or got distracted. You know, children get distracted, but they were in tune, taking notes. And I'm like, wow, you know. And at the ending of the lecture, they wanted to give themselves Aboriginal titles and what's their favorite animal and how they could name themselves, you know. And it was just so beautiful, man. It was just so beautiful. And even if I didn't, you know, charge the brother for the lecture, no amount of money, if he were to pay me, or if I had charged him, or, well, I don't charge people, but if I had, you know, told him before, hey, you know what, you got to donate such and such amount for the lecture, no amount of money could have compensated for that feeling that I felt. So I know me not asking for a donation or charging him, so to speak, was the best thing. I just did it because of the love, man. And yes, I was repaid. I was, you know, by the way the children accepted the information, the way they reacted to it, just to confirm the confirmation, knowing who they are, knowing that they are not black, they are not African American, they are not niggers. They know they are Aboriginals, American Aboriginals, the ones they call the American Indians. And they had questions, and they were asking questions, and they were taking notes, and it was just so beautiful. So I'm saying my gratification came from that, and I know it brought my ancestors joy. So I left Jersey, you know, feeling uplifted. I got on the New Jersey train heading back to New York, and as soon as I got on the train, I sat down, and the conductor of that train in Jersey was a brother. So when he came to get my ticket, of course, I have my headpiece, I have my fox in my neck, I have my pants with the fringes on. I'm always represented. You know, no one could mistake me for a black man or an African American in the streets. They'll know who I am without me even talking. So the brother approached me. He said, "Hey, brother, where do you get your crown?" I said, "Well, my brother, I usually make my head pieces." He said, "Man, that's beautiful." He said, "Well, I get mine from such and such a site." You know, I forgot the name of the site. But anyway, I'm saying all this to say, he said, "I'm Choctaw." I said, "Pleased to meet you, brother. I'm Carib, Anion Weah, and Choctaw as well." And he embraced me. He said, "Here's, we exchange information." And he said, "We'll keep in touch." And it just brought him joy, the smile on his face. And he was an elder. And I knew what that meant to him, to see another brother walking in the streets, coming on that train, to know who he is. And I went back, to New York, got to 34th Street, Penn Station, transferred on the number 3 train to head back to Brooklyn. Now, something very interesting and amazing happened on the number 3 train. I got on the train and I was towards the back of the train. However, when the train get to Brooklyn, my exit would have to be to the front. But I didn't want to wait, and just get to Brooklyn and walk all the way towards that exit towards the front. So the Spirit led me to walk between the cars of the train while the train was in motion. And while I'm walking, I realized that there is someone following me. You just know when there's an energy that's following you. Now, that's not normally a strange thing because people always walk between the cars. But for some reason, my higher self wanted me to pay attention to that energy because I felt something. And it wasn't threatening, but I did feel something like that energy was coming towards my energy. So I paid it no mind, but I made myself aware of the energy. So I kind of like turned around, not in a 180 degree, but more so towards, so that, with my peripherals, I could see who the individual was. And I realized that it was a pale Mongolian, kind of like Asian Caucasian mix. The brother was really mixed, but he was one of the pale brothers. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to pay that no mind. So I walked, came down towards the 3rd car. Then I came towards the 2nd car. Then I stopped. The brother stopped. Now, when the train got in, of course, it was already into Brooklyn. It got to a stop called Franklin Avenue. All right. I decided that I was going to walk again a little further down towards the front. The gentleman, right before the train stopped, the gentleman, followed me again. So I'm like, hold up, man, why is this dude following me? But I didn't want to get aggressive. So I stopped. And then the car doors opened. And the brother ran towards me. And I'm getting ready to put my dukes up because I'm like, yo, bro, today's not the day, man, for a pale man to step to the chief, man. Like, it's going down. Like, I got my crown and I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. But the higher self told me to, chief, just relax. See what's going to happen. So the brother ran towards me and ran around me and stood in front of me and put his hand together and bowed. And the brother said, "Halito, chief." Well, he didn't say chief. He said, "Halito, brother." And I was just lost for words. So eventually I said, "Halito, brother." But the brother came and he bowed to me in a namaste acknowledgement. And then he left. He ran out the car because of the train because the door was about to close. Apparently that was his stop. He had to get off. And it kind of took me a second to get back into reality and realize what just happened. But there was a sister sitting next to me. And she started laughing as to giggle and make fun as to the man must be crazy. Or I must be crazy because of the way I was dressed. And I just shook my head and realized that that was a moment for our ancestors. A Mongolian, okay, a pale man mixed with Asian. I could tell he was a native. He looked like one of the people they call the native, the $5 Indians. No disrespect to the brother. You know what I mean? But he acknowledged the original man of the land. He came and he bowed and he said, "Halito, brother." And I didn't want to take the glory. I didn't want to take the praise. So I gave it all to my ancestors. I told my ancestors, that one was for you. And I just looked at the sister and I shook my head. And I walked to the next car towards the front. And I stepped out the train when I got to my stop. And on my way back to the house, I decided to stop into this little restaurant. And I ordered a roti skin. For those of you who know what roti is, I ordered a roti skin with, a bowl of lentil soup, because, I don't eat meat. So, but while I was in there, a sister came in and then another brother came in. But the sister that came in, a conversation struck. The owner of the restaurant, he came out, to help serve because the restaurant was getting a little crowded. They had about 6 people and they always like to keep the line moving. So when he came out, he knows who I am. He said, "Hey, Chief, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great." I turned around and I realized that the brother that was right behind me, he seemed to have a little attitude, like he's agitated, and it's after I realized he was a little bit peeved that the owner of the restaurant called me Chief. But here's the irony in this. I just came from the train and a native or a so-called native acknowledged me, as who they call the American Indian. Apparently he knows the truth. And here I am in the restaurant. I ran into another light-skinned brother with gray eyes. You could tell that he's mixed, but he has us in him, but he's more gravitating towards the pale race because he looks closer pale with gray, but you could tell that he is melanated. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that he has us in him. You feel me? So he may have been one of the ones they call a mulatto back in the days. You dig? So a conversation struck with the sister, and I'm telling the sister, you know why? Man, nah, that's not true. A pale woman walked in, a Caucasian woman walked in then, and she was promoting some type of product. And she came and she said, "Well, excuse me, can I ask you guys a question? We are here, promoting our new product, and you could get a free sample. And if you like it, it's normally $1.99, but today you get it for $1.50. And immediately I just had to open up my mouth because it just didn't sit right with me. And I said, "Miss, may I ask you a question?" She said, "Sure." I said, "Why is that every time you guys come into our neighborhoods, it's always to promote something and sell something to us? You are always taking from us. Why aren't you giving back? You guys never support our businesses. This is a restaurant. I'm here practically every day. I have never seen you not even coming to support and buy not even a bottle of water. But you guys always want to take something. Oh, well, we support, as a matter of fact, I have my own product line and I am going to come back and give back." I say, "No, you don't support. I've been here all my life and you guys don't support us, but you always taking from us. I am an original man of this land, an Aboriginal, one they would call an American Indian. And how do you think we feel that every other ethnic group, whether it may be Asian, Caucasian, Malaysian, Belasian, African, Native, every other ethnic group come into our home and use and abuse us, but never want to give us anything back or respect us?" I said, "No, it's going to stop. I am not going to stand for that." So here the brother, the mulatto brother, he got so upset. The only thing he didn't do was punch me in my face, and that would have been a problem. "Oh, you ain't no real Indian? You ain't no real Indian? That's not what the real Indian look like?" And he stepped out the restaurant, totally forgot that he came to get food. But because he was so bothered, first I realized why he got a little upset, because the restaurant owner called me Chief. So literally that put 2 and 2 together. And then he stepped out the restaurant in a burst of energy. So I stepped outside and I said, "Pardon me, brother. You are lost. For your information, the original man of this land, they look just like me, if not darker. And I am the original man they call the Indian. I realize that you are lost. You must be one of the natives. That's why you took offense to that. And he looking at me upset, ready. I said, I'm not here to attack you, but you are lost. It's one or two things. It's either you know the truth, and because it came out, you got upset, or you are truly lost. But if you are lost, go learn the true history of this land. And if you are in denial and you do know the truth, and you're upset because we are finally coming out and acknowledging who we are, then you need to ask my ancestors for forgiveness. But I'm not going to apologize for being who I am. Okay? So I hope you have a great day. But recognize that the aboriginal of this land, we here and we know who we are. And we about to turn this whole shit around. And I left. I wasn't disrespectful because he was an elder, but I really wanted to go there with him, but I left it alone. I went back to the restaurant, got my food, and they was laughing. They was like, Chief, you know what? Don't even worry about it. We know how passionate you are about our culture, who we are, because I already came and dropped the knowledge on them. One of the sisters, she's from Trinidad. Another one is from Jamaica. The owner of the restaurant is from Trinidad. So I went home, ate my food, and I just continued to give my ancestors the praise and the reverence, and the acknowledgement. But everything happens for a reason. I had sent an email, just to confirm our trip to DC. And I was advised that, we should postpone the trip because Congress is taking their break and the majority of the people are not going to be around. Okay, so it really wouldn't make sense to come to have that meeting that I had, or we had rather, because it wouldn't be as effective because everybody's gone. But they did give me the option to still come. And I said, well, you know what? We are not going to go because we want to make sure that when we go, we have to accomplish some things. So we are going to put that off. So the Washington, D.C. trip in November, it is going to be postponed until further notice. All right. So sometimes they say when it rains, it pours, and I don't have a problem with that because I love the rain. However, I had planned on moving to Missouri towards the middle or the end of, well, not the end, but towards the 30th of November. However, it looked like I may have to make my trip a little sooner than that because I don't know if you guys remember in one of the situations where I was doing a video and the roof caved in, and that had to cost me, and it cost me a lot of money, but them trying to take advantage, and it caused the problem, so with that being said, with different situations that arose, I have to move out, immediately. You know what I mean? So as of now, it's like I don't have a place to stay. So I called my brother in Missouri and he said, Chief, I told you, whenever you're ready to come down, man, you have a place. I have 2 acres for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be on 2 acres, but I am actually going on Tuesday. So everything happened for a reason, because had this Washington, D.C. trip came through, then I would have been in a dilemma. Because now I have to move, and that would have been a situation right there. So everything just seemed to work out just fine. And that's how I know the ancestors are looking out for me. That's why I know the Great Spirit is looking out for me. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be moving to Missouri, and I'll be in the Missouri, Kentucky, Kansas area, because I always ask the ancestors to take me where I'm needed the most. Take me where I could be a vessel, I could be used, because the brother told me that, hey, Chief, you know what? The people, they know that they are aboriginals, but they are just lost. A lot of them are brainwashed. They have forgotten who they are. Most of them own the land, and it's been in the family generations and generations, but they are just lost. You are needed down here. So I'm going because that's where the ancestors need me. However, because the trip, it is so abrupt, it's actually Tuesday. I have to rent a car. I have to, do gas toll, just get some things together. So I'm asking, which I don't like to ask for things, but I'm asking if you guys could assist. I have my link below for the my Cash App, and if you guys could assist, like I tell people, everything that I do it for the love. You know what I'm saying? And it would be great, if some of our people could definitely show some love in return. So if you guys could assist, man, that would be so great, because I have to. It's not that I want to move. No, I have to move because of the situation that happened. So basically, right now, I literally don't have a place, and it's like too many times that seem to be happening. But you know what? It's okay, because I realize once again that the ancestors, when they need me in a different location, things always happen, and sometimes it's been bad, but this time it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm in a great place. But I will need your assistance, in supporting to facilitate my trip, going to Missouri. So I have to be gone on, actually, where I'm at right now. I have to leave today, as a matter of fact. But a friend of mine, a brother, said that, hey, Chief, you know what? It's okay. You could chill, until you decide what you got to do. So I'm definitely going to be leaving on Tuesday. So if you guys could help and, gift, your support, that would be great. All right. But brothers and sisters, I told you my experience within the past 48 hours, because you have to step up into who you truly are. That's how you are going to get the respect and the recognition. And also, you will be disrespected, and the disrespect will come from your own. It will come from your own. Because if I didn't have my feathers, the brother on the train in Jersey wouldn't have recognized me. We wouldn't have connected. If when I got on the train in New York, the Mongolian, the Asian, Caucasian, whatever his mix was, he wouldn't have acknowledged our ancestors and bowed to me if I wasn't in my Aboriginal attire. You feel me? If I wasn't in my attire, I wouldn't have been disrespected by the mulatto brother. You feel me? But it was all good though, because I had to put him in his place. So now he may go home and be like, damn, they starting to know the truth, or damn, let me go do my research. Maybe I'm missing something. So everything happens for a reason. And then coming back to find out that the DC trip is canceled from an email that I received, or I was advised that we should postpone it. And then coming to find out, hey, you know what? You have to move. You have to move. So now you have to, your trip to Missouri have to be a little more sooner than you wanted it to be. But I'm just saying, everything is working out the way it's supposed to. I'm not looking at this as a disappointment, or why me? Why is this always happening? No, it is supposed to happen. Wherever you're at in your life, it's the perfect place that you need to be for you to make the next move. As long as you're always moving forward, you are always in the right place. As long as you're always moving forward in the right direction, moving towards where you truly need to, or where you aspire to be, then you're always in the right place. There are no coincidences. There are no accidents. So once again, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a great continuation. And for all those of you who are going to support in advance towards my trip for me moving to Missouri to go put in some work where it's needed the most, I thank you in advance. Peace, love, harmony, and light. Chief Kalinago. We'll talk soon.